Hi, I'm Katy Auker with the Steam Sondheim Society. I'm here at rehearsals for the Southwark Playhouse's production of Company, starring Rupert as Bobby and Siobhan McCarthy as Joanne. How are rehearsals going so far?
Well, nobody's fallen out, nobody's run out of the rehearsal room yet. We're only into our second week of rehearsal, so first week was all music, which was complicated and quite tricky to learn. And now it's just starting to block some of the scenes with some of the songs.
Yeah, the second week's always difficult. The first week was all songs and they are very, very complicated. I don't quite realise. Mine is slightly easier. I mean, they're hard songs, but they're easier because the big company numbers are very complicated. And so now getting it up on its feet is the scary part. Because sitting down with the words is easier. You can hide behind it.
And how familiar were you both with the show before you auditioned?
I had seen it when I was 17. I saw it, giving away my age, at the Dunmar production, and I didn't know anything about it then. And I remember turning up at 7:20 and saying, "Are there tickets?" And they said, "We've got 2 left. Would you like to go?" And I was like, "Oh, shall I go?" And me and next girlfriend, we went in and was just blown away by it. So, and then went to see it a couple of times. So I knew the show, and it was always something that I loved as a late teen, and never thought that I'd get to do it. So I did know it.
Yeah. You've both got some really iconic songs in this, you know, Ladies Who Lunch and Being Alive. Is that daunting, or are you just excited to have people hear your interpretations?
No, frankly. It's a huge challenge. I always think of Elaine Stritch singing it, and it's going to be pretty tricky.
I think it is really hard, especially when you seeing...
Everybody knows the number. I mean, most people I think the majority of people who are going to come and see this show will be very familiar with the music. So they'll have all of the kind of recordings of it. So it's always difficult when it's...
And it's very difficult to see, there's some people who, I think it is a play, obviously it's a musical, but the songs are move the narrative forward. So you could hear someone sing Being Alive and it's beautiful, but if you saw them perform that on stage and within the production, it may not be as good. Like, you have to believe what they're saying. It's very easy to...
Yeah.
So it's kind of trying to find it for yourself and make sense of it the way we're doing it, and trying to forget everyone else.
You try and put your own mark on it.
Yeah.
You've got to make sense of the number for yourself.
Yeah.
And they're fabulous numbers to interpret because they're such wonderful lyrics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the range that the number, for example, that Ladies Who Lunch is written in is very low register, and I normally don't sing in a low register. So therefore, I suppose yes, I would be definitely influenced by Elaine Stritch. I mean, it was written for her as well.
Yeah.
So without trying to do a copy of her, I guess somewhere in my subconscious.
When I was auditioning, obviously you listen to different versions of the song and different people sing it, and then I very quickly, I met up with the musical director a couple of times before we started rehearsals, and we both said, let's not do any of the songs from the show, because at the moment they're in my head and I don't want to do a carbon copy of someone I've heard, and it's really hard to get those. You need to take a step away from it, so what you are bringing is Rupert's performance, Siobhan's performance. It's not, oh okay, yeah, that Adrian did that, or Elaine Stritch did that. Oh, that's kind of, but obviously they're iconic songs. If someone's on memory, you go, oh, that's a Elaine Page's song. It's not, but I think it's a new production, and hopefully the way we do it will be influenced by the way we're doing our production. So.
Yeah, it's set in modern day, isn't it? So what kind of new elements can we expect to see?
Oh, I'm not really sure.
Rap.
Bit of Rhiannon is in there.
I mean,
but there's no. I mean, the costumes. We'll have mobile phones. So a couple of little things like that that will let the audience know that it's present day.
Right.
I think there is something, because you have the answer phones in the beginning of this production. It's in the script, and so. And it is saying there are certain things that, I mean, no one really has an answer phone anymore.
Yeah.
It's all mobiles, and obviously you don't want to just suddenly get out a mobile phone for the sake of it. but it just means that there are, there is a lot of, it is costume and it's weird setting in that time, but it's so beautifully written that it can be. There are only a few things that it doesn't have to be of any period. You don't have to change that much. So I think people will get it. So you just have to show a mobile phone and you go, oh right, it's modern. And it doesn't matter even. I think watching it, people won't go with that now. You just feel it's such a, it's not a through story. It doesn't matter when it's.
What are your favourite moments in the show that you're looking forward to performing or seeing other people?
Well, at the moment, I suppose we're listening to other people singing their numbers. I love you singing. What's that one? What's it called? Being Alive. Someone Oh, I love that number. It's possibly my favourite number, Being Alive.
Yeah, it's an amazing song.
And he sings it beautifully, and apart from myself singing my own, I'm only joking.
That
I love. I don't think I'd ever tire of listening to that song. But I mean, a great group of performers in the show, and they're all fabulous numbers.
It's crazy. I have to say that the first day was for me one of the most terrifying days.
I think for everyone.
Well, for everyone. I thought for it was just me. Luckily, you look around everyone and they pretend they're really confident. But people who have done, for me, I've seen lots of people in the cast in other things. Siobhan I knew was in and had done. I mean, her CV is crazy, crazily good. I hasten to add, so long. No, but and so you feel an awe, and then you're a kind of new kid who comes up. I've done a few musicals, but everyone's waiting, or you feel everyone's waiting to see what you're going to sound like, and everyone's feeling the same.
It is kind of the most nerve-wracking time, in fact, is the kind of first read-through or sing-through, because that is...
And you don't know people's reactions.
No,
so if someone's going like that, you think, oh, actually they're thinking...
How did that get them? How did they get that part?
Did they actually hear him sing? But hearing people, I mean, like Katy singing her song is... just fantastic, and the company, the first day when we learned the song, as a company, the music and the singing is phenomenal. Being in the middle of a rehearsal, learning the songs with people, it's incredible. And every person, there's no person you look at and go, okay, well they act well or they do that well. It's so beautifully sung and so far beautifully acted in the day.
They're exciting numbers, they're interesting numbers, and I think for a lot of us we're craving to do something like that.
And it's not every day you get to do a score. So it is. Every song is really complicated, which I had no idea really how difficult it was, and beautifully written, and gives you so much. That's the other thing.
No, everybody wants to do this is my first Sondheim. I've never done a Sondheim before, so I'm absolutely thrilled to be part of this. And incidentally, I did do company when I was 16 in Dublin. I better say this because Tom Singleton, who had this group called Take Four, and I was one of the girlfriends. Of course, I completely forgotten it. But yes, I did. So which was, I think, 1975.
Wow.
So that was only about 5 years after.
Is this your first leading role in a musical?
In a musical, at drama school, I was a lead role in a musical called The Fix. And then I did a pantomime a few years ago where I was the lead in that, and there was a lot of singing, and I actually did a version of Much Ado About Nothing last year, very briefly, with singing in. So, but it is my first, proper leading role in a show. And
he's wonderful. He's marvellous, that boy.
But it's terror, it is terror. But it's an honour. But you go through to... Wow. And having lots of people sing We Love You is really nice, but then it's also terrifying. So I'm living my dream and my nightmare.
Is there no plan to transfer it, or?
Well, I think people have got to see what it looks like. But I think at the moment, probably, you just never know. But I think we're very much focused on that. In fact, the first day.
Yes.
We're focused on that one. See if we can get through it and then see what happens. And
have you got your tickets?
Yes, we have. It starts on...
2nd of February.
2nd of February.
I don't know what day that is. Is it Thursday?
When?
2nd of February. Look it up.
Starts on the 2nd of February at the Southwark Playhouse. Come and see it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.